We're in the middle of the great resignation, and it might seem that there is a war for talent like we've never seen before. However, it's still the case that talent can learn a lot from executive search firms in terms of finding the perfect position and finding a company that meets their values. I'm here with Simon Mackfall of Younion. He's going to share some of his insights about being an executive search professional and what it takes to get that perfect match. Simon, over to you.
Yes, Ethan, hi, thank you. Yes, Simon Mackfall. I'm a headhunter in the financial services sector. I've been for far too many years. And as you probably know, headhunters get involved when clients are looking to recruit at a very senior level and need the choice of the best talent, or they're in a situation where there's a real dearth of talent and they're finding it difficult to find anybody to do that job. As you mentioned, I think there are some things that people can borrow from the headhunter's toolbox when the converse is true, when an individual, for whatever reason, either wants or needs to make a decisive career move. I'd say, first and foremost, the most important thing in any successful search that we carry out is a really strong brief. By that, what I mean, the very clear picture as to who the organisation is, what they do, who they do it for, where they do it, how they do it, and how they do it differently to their competitors, why people would want to work for them, and so what rewards are on offer as well on receipt of results. Turning that on its head when people are looking for a job, I'd say it's equally true that you need a really strong brief as to what you're looking for. So what kind of organisation do I want to work for? Where is it? What do they do? How do they do it? Why are they different? So all the same questions really, and have a really good think about that and get it down on paper or on screen or whatever it is you put it down on, because that's the foundation of success, I would say, in any search.
So a strong brief. And how about how one goes about finding that firm where the values match, and how one should act in terms of outreach?
I mean, I suppose there's two ways to go about it. First would be being your own headhunter. The second would be employing the skills, contacts of other recruiters, be they in-house recruiters or third-party recruiters acting on behalf of various different employers. Taking the sort of being your own headhunter one first. Again, it's sort of turning on its head what we would do when we're looking for people to fill jobs. Is you start with a target list of organisations led by the brief. So you should know, as we should know, some of the organisations that are going to be on that list, and you can broaden that out by looking those companies up, looking at directories that those companies appear on, going on the likes of LinkedIn, and people also looked at this kind of organisation, and slowly, steadily, you can build up a list of organisations. Then, I suppose, step away from it, come back to it, and start sifting out of that bigger list the ones that you really feel hit the mark in terms of your brief. Going back to the brief. Once you've done that, it's then identifying who it is you need to speak to in those organisations to get you what you want. So if I was looking for example, a finance director, then I might ask a CFO, but if I went above that, I might be asking a CEO. So I would probably speak with CEOs to find out who they really regarded as strong CFOs. Then I would speak with those CFOs to see who they regard as being really strong FDs. And that way, then you're getting it from the people who know, the people who've worked with them, the people who've seen the success that they've had, and so on and so forth. Similarly, as a job seeker, what you're looking for are people that you want to work with and for, and you want to know they're good. So if you're an FD looking for a role, then don't go to the CFO, go to the CEO. go to the CEO and say, what I'm looking for is, and that could be done by an email, it could be done by a direct approach, it could be done by a telephone call, LinkedIn, whatever it might be. But the fact is, by going one level above, if you're striking a chord with that person and they then put you in touch with the CFO, I think it's a much better in for an individual to have the CEO telling the CFO to get in touch with you as a potential FD.
How can you motivate a recruiter to work for you?
The really fortunate thing is that the recruiter's wants and needs are very much aligned with yours. What you want to do is find a job that you're happy with. What they want to do is make their clients happy by finding people who are happy in the jobs. So that's great. The issue lies in terms of motivating those people to work on your behalf rather than all the other candidates. And I would suggest that one of the things that would set anybody apart would be exclusivity. Unfortunately, in the sort of contingency space of recruitment, it's who gets there first, not necessarily who gets there the best. And there's a certain element of throwing enough wood at the wall and some of it will stick. So I would offer a recruiter who I felt could fulfill my needs with a period of exclusivity. Any recruiter worth their salt should be able to put you in front of the clients that they know for the appropriate jobs that you want within a couple of weeks. 4 weeks at the outside. If it's a more senior, trying to get in touch with people might be difficult. It might be holiday season, but typically 2 to 4 weeks. I'd say a fortnight, and make it absolutely clear to them that you want to know who it is that you're being put forward to and why. Given that you've given them your brief, they will love you for giving them a brief, because they don't often get that. They'll get a CV, but they don't get what you are, what you want, what you need, what you're looking for. And a lot of that is getting rid of the objections further down the line. It can be a problem if they put somebody in front of a client of theirs and then they find out, but this person doesn't want to do that. You've already dealt with that. Your brief has dealt with that. So it's going to be very clear who it is it's going to be very clear. Unlike me, no, it's going to be very clear which of their clients would be appropriate for them to put you forward to, because of the strength of the brief that you've put together about yourself. Giving them a fixed time frame to work within, it should focus their attention on you. And unlike other people who they might be working on behalf of, if you've given them exclusivity, they know that if they find you a job, you're going to go with their client because you're not looking anywhere else. And then if it doesn't work for whatever reason, that's fine. It's only a snapshot of what their clients want at any one time, which is the best you can hope for. And then you move on to the next one as needs be. And I think realistically, once you've got sort of 2 or 3 interviews with different employers on the go, you should really stop and give each of those the time and consideration that they're really due, because somebody's worked hard to sort of find those opportunities for you. As for employers using recruitment companies, the same applies. That period of exclusivity. If you're not paying a retainer or not wishing to pay a retainer, how do you motivate your recruiter to work for you rather than working for your competitors? You've got to give them something, so you give them some exclusivity, even if it's just a short time frame to bring the best candidates forward they can for the roles you want to fulfill. So it's the same rules apply on either side.
Really interesting, Simon. Well, thanks for helping us think about the incentives and the motivations from your standpoint. I think that's extremely helpful to encourage candidates to act on their behalf and not be acted upon. Giving that agency and that sense of self-control and self-direction, I think, is really key. And thanks for sharing those insights with us.
Great. Thank you.